How's it going, everyone? Got quite a lot to talk about in this video. It looks like Ben Studio and Naughty Dog may potentially be working on a new PlayStation title. We'll talk about that. Some speculation, you really can't go more in-depth on that. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is getting a major update on December 19th, tomorrow. We'll talk about that. Last of Us Part 2 gets a bit of an update with its remastered version, and we have an update on Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. More on that at the end of this video. But as spotted on LinkedIn, it looks like Ben Studio and Naughty Dog are working on a joint unannounced project, and it's been in development for 2 years, according to the former senior gameplay animator. Now, when it comes to things like this, as far as stuff getting spotted on LinkedIn, remember, things are in development all the time. Things are in pre-production. Things are in early development. Sometimes you never even see it, get officially announced, officially confirmed, and it'll get scrapped, whatever the case may be. This has happened several times in gaming in general. But Ben Studio is actually one of those studios that we haven't heard from in a very long time. Obviously, when you talk about Ben, people get up in arms, and, there's, let's just say, a very vocal group. I don't want to say they're a vocal minority, because you know what, they might be a vocal majority. Who the hell knows? But let's just say there are some people that really love the 2019 release to Days Gone. That was the last game that Ben officially put out. Look, we've seen petitions get created, we've seen social media tirades. People are down bad for a Days Gone sequel. Almost as down bad as I am for stuff like Okami 2, a new Mega Man Battle Network, and stuff like that. People will be down bad for Days Gone 2 actually coming to fruition. Will it happen? Probably not. Days Gone was one of those games that, while it had a lot of things that people liked, unfortunately, it didn't hit that threshold from a Metacritic standpoint that Sony really... It seems like Sony, more than any other publisher, really tries to hit that threshold, and commercially, it just didn't do incredible numbers. It did see a PC release, it got updated for PS5, and the PC and PlayStation 5 versions really do remedy a lot of the issues for Days Gone, but nonetheless, what Days Gone did was it allowed Ben Studio to learn the ins and outs of open-world game development, and if they took the foundation that they set with Days Gone, the learnings of what they could take from Days Gone and creating an open-world game, and they parlay that into their next title, and if they're getting help from Naughty Dog working on said open-world game, if that's what's going on here, that could be rather remarkable. Now, I personally believe that Ben Studio is working on an open-world title on their own, and Naughty Dog is obviously working on a big project on their own, probably Last of Us Part 3, and whatever this joint unannounced project is, I think is something entirely separate, but that, again, is just speculation on my part. You can't read into the LinkedIn stuff all too much, but I did want to make a note of that as that was circulating on social media. Moving on from that, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is getting a ranked matchmaking update, and it will be dropping on December the 19th. Publisher Bandai Namco and developer From Software will release the version 1.05 update, the ranked matchmaking update for Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon on December the 19th. The update will add the following new features: battle other players in ranked online matchmaking, carve your name into the ranked leaderboard, enhance your Armored Core loadout with new parts, take the fight to new places with new player versus player maps, and personalize your nameplate to make your mark on the battlefield. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, obviously available for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. One of those games that wasn't super in the mix for Game of the Year, but one of those games I think a lot of people really did enjoy, and it was really nice to see From Software work on something outside of just a pure Souls game, and I had been talking about it for literally years on this channel. You could probably dig up videos from like 2019, 2020, where I was just, complaining about the lack of big budget mecha games in the gaming market. I'm a sucker for gigantic robots battling it out. I was a big Gundam guy growing up, so it did my heart justice when we did get a big budget mecha title from a notable studio like From Software, and from a long-running franchise like Armored Core that did go absent for a while, and it seemed like the game crushed it from a commercial standpoint, given what it was. Yeah, it didn't do as good as Elden Ring, but that was never going to be the case. Armored Core 6, I think, is going to open the door for a lot more mech titles, and definitely Armored Core as a franchise being maybe not a mainstay, but a franchise that's going to stick around for quite a while, because I think there's a lot of things they could do from here, and they're adding online matchmaking, ranked online matchmaking as well. That's pretty cool. The game these days, you can find it for like 35 to 40 bucks, and at that price point, I think it's quite good. Next up, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, as noted by the PlayStation Game Size Twitter account. It will be 76 gigabytes, so quite a substantial install for this. The standard edition will be having its preload go live January the 12th at midnight, and the release will be January the 19th at midnight. Now, the preload will only be for the pre-order, and I believe that's if you actually buy the game. The base game, like if you don't own Last of Us Part 2 on the PS4, it's not in your library or anything like that, it is $50, so yeah, like, I probably wouldn't be going the $50 route of buying this. I would say you could probably find a copy of Last of Us Part 2 for dirt cheap. Like, I'm talking $10, $10, $15. It could go on sale as a part of the holiday sale. I think Sony's gonna be intelligent enough to know not to give it a deep discount. Maybe they'll knock it down to 25 bucks or something like that, but I think they know that a lot of people are going to want the game to upgrade it into Last of Us Part 2. And why kind of cut your legs from underneath yourself if you're going to sell this for $50 and then you're putting Last of Us Part 2 on sale for $25? Just from a business standpoint, I think they want to have the value of this release as high as possible. And what's great about it is, of course, you do have the addition of the roguelike component, which, if this is gonna be a regular thing that we're gonna do with PlayStation titles, if we're gonna take popular IPs like The Last of Us, like a God of War, and just implement quality roguelike mechanics to it and a roguelike component, hey, sign me the hell up. I would much rather take that than these games going completely the live service route. Everything that everybody's been saying about God of War Ragnarok Valhalla has been incredibly positive, and I think it's, capped off the year of 2023 on a high note for Sony in general, especially as that was free. I hear a lot of people saying how they would have easily dropped $20 from it. One of my buddies actually picked up both the Final Fantasy 16 DLC and God of War Ragnarok's Valhalla DLC. Obviously, Ragnarok free, Final Fantasy 16's DLC paid $10 DLC, and he's just like, yo, Valhalla's way better than the FF16 DLC. He wasn't even down on the FF16 DLC. It's just that's how highly he thought of Valhalla. So, take that for what it's worth with these roguelike components, and I think a lot of people, if it's executed properly, which take nothing away from Naughty Dog, I just wasn't a fan of Last of Us Part 2 from a narrative standpoint. Naughty Dog's an incredible development studio. I think they'll be able to do good work with a roguelike feature with Last of Us. It is a bummer, I know, Last of Us Online getting canceled. I think a lot of us saw that coming, but hopefully we can move on to bigger and better things with all of these studios instead of so much priority being put towards live service titles. I think that'll do everybody some good. But Last of Us Part 2 out January the 19th, $50, $10 upgrade if you already own the game. Lastly, I do want to note, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, one of the major releases of early 2024, has gotten a bunch of new details, detailing sub-stories, close encounters, and a lot of narrative details as well. Personality traits, and a lot of information, bond levels, about the game as well. Obviously, this is going to be an over-the-top action RPG. Incredibly excited for it. And it's a game that's going to take up quite a lot of time. It's actually out a week after the release of Last of Us Part 2, January the 26th. Same day as Tekken 8. Man, that early 2024. That's gonna be one dialogue I'm gonna go back to over and over again. And I actually heard somebody talk about it recently, where they were downplaying how stacked early 24 was compared to 2023. I had a conversation, and I'm just like, brother, you gotta look at the lineup in 2024. The lineup in 2024, as far as the first quarter goes, might be one of the craziest first quarters I've ever seen in gaming history, and you're talking about somebody that's been following, like, game releases month to month for well over a decade now. This is one of the craziest first quarters, and I know sometimes we are prisoners of the moment, but man, you just look at that first quarter, especially if you're into Japanese RPGs, when you've got titles like FF7 Rebirth, and you have Dragon's Dogma 2, and then you're talking about titles like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Tekken 8, like, that's a gargantuan release cycle for gaming that's coming up in Q1. But that'll do it for me. Again, could be a potential mystery PlayStation exclusive being in development by Ben Studio and Naughty Dog. Armored Core 6 getting a major free update with ranked matchmaking. Last of Us Part 2 detailed at 76 gigabytes. Excited for that for the new game mode, and happy that it's just a $10 upgrade. Preloads live on January 12th if you are pre-ordering, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth gets a host of new details. Excited for that as well. January 26th, and that's going to kick off a wave of monster releases, so be on the lookout for that. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.